on anything else. And I want to ask you just a fundamental question too, like why heck, why HEX? Why are you so confident in the ecosystem? And just really, like, why this? You could do anything else. We all could be somewhere else right now, but we're not. Why is that?
So my philosophy in life is, people ask me, what do you want, RG? What do you want? A little bit more. That's what I want. A little bit more. I always want a little bit more. A little bit more for my family, a little bit more for myself, a little bit more for my community, a little bit more for the people around me, a little bit more for the world. I want everything to be a little better, right? And so how do you do that? Well, for a long time, I was a slave to the blue collar world where I was working every day for, 12, 14, 16-hour days, trying to feed my family, keep my wife at home and take care of the kids, that kind of stuff, and, but I always wanted more. So when I came home, I spent time trying to be an entrepreneur, trying to do things on the side, and trying to find that one thing that was going to make me fulfilled as far as a human being goes. It's like that I was contributing, not just selling a widget and making some money off of it, but what can I do on my spare time to really fulfill my goal as a human being and do something that was going to help the world, that was going to either change my community or help the world, whatever, of course, always thinking small, community, whatever. And I was running through and I did a lot of marketing things, and I did a lot of things in software development as far as the gaming world was concerned, and got involved in a lot of different communities. And then I stumbled across crypto. And when I stumbled across crypto, that was like my big aha moment. Like, holy crap. Like, this is that thing that I can get involved with and help market because of reading Satoshi white paper and seeing, what it was really all about, the cypherpunk movement and what they were all about, and reading their IRC chat rooms and stuff and what was going on in there. I was like, these guys want to change the world of finance, and they're giving it to all of us to go do it. So like, I can get involved and go do this. And so that's what why I do this, because, I got into crypto around 2014 was my first experience with it. I mean, I saw it before Bitcoin came out. They were shilling in-game cryptocurrencies to us at the time, trying to get us to put them in our platforms and stuff in 2008, 2009. And then when Bitcoin came out, we're like, whatever, that glorified PayPal cryptographic crap that they're trying to show. I didn't think of much about it. Then 2014, I got involved and started actually seeing what was happening. And it was at that moment that I said, okay, I got to get involved. I got to read what this is about. And then the cypherpunk movement was like, man, this is it. This is where I can make my contribution and I can get involved. But it was garbage for, from 14 to 17. It was just nothing, going on. And then until I was ready to leave the whole thing, I was like, I'm done with this shit. I'm out of here. They've usurped this thing. It's just a bunch of, PT Barnums and fucking shell game players and whatever. Oh, sorry, I'm not language. So I was ready to bail on it all until I saw Richard, and he made that top call in 2017, 18 crash, and hated him, despised him for that. But I was like, hey, this guy's smart, so maybe you should listen to him. So that's when I started listening to Richard. And then he started talking about some, fluid dynamics coin and all that stuff. And I was like, it was over my head.
Shout out to CFD token.
CFD. Yeah. And so I wasn't too interested in, and it was like, and then he came out with this Bitcoin HEX thing. And I started looking at him like, wait a second. This is like what I'm looking for. This is like true DeFi, right? And I'm like, is this true DeFi? Is he really talking about a DeFi coin here? Like self-custody, interest bearing, yield, you generate yield on it, and no mining. I mean, all the things that I wanted to see go away, like HEX did it. Like HEX gamed the system. It was like, oh, checkmate on all of crypto. And so I was rooting for him. I was like, hope this guy really does this thing. And then, when he launched it, we were all like, hey man, this is going to be the end all be all. And we were all very cautiously optimistic and watching it. And the FUD was so thick, and it was just like, you almost couldn't believe in it. It was so bad, and, but we stuck with it. And because of that, first I was convinced that Richard Heart had changed crypto forever. And then as I went through the FUD and I helped develop the community and got involved and I started putting my own capital into the system and helping to build, I became convicted. I wasn't no longer convinced. I was convicted. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm convicted to go out and take this ecosystem to the world. No matter what, if I got 10 people to show up, so be it. I will talk to 10 people just as passionate as if I was talking to 50,000 people at a stadium, just the same way. And that's what I do. I'm going to go out and keep passing that message and keep trying to get people to understand what Richard Heart has done, what he's done for the whole world, basically. See, we said in the beginning that crypto was going to get it eventually. They were going to get what Richard did. And they were going to, because in the beginning it was FUD. You guys are fools. You guys are idiots. Richard's a scammer. You guys, this thing's going to zero. And we proved them all wrong, and Richard proved them all wrong. And we're still standing. We won. We won that battle. So now I'm convicted. Now I know that eventually the whole world is going to see it the same way, because nothing's changing. Nothing's changed. HEX is still HEX. HEX is still doing what it's doing. It's still the thing that we said it was. It's still like should be getting Nobel Prizes for some of its modeling that it's created. You know, its inflation model. The way that interest is bared with the T-shares, all of these things are like, should be looked at by, you know, Nobel Prize laureates or whatever, to give these guys what they deserve for it, because it's going to change the world. So that's it. I'm convicted. I'm not going anywhere. That's why I'm here. To whom much is given, much is expected. I've been given enough wealth to retire, to go away, to not have to do this anymore and just spend time with my family. But because I'm convicted, I can't. I have to go and do what I'm doing. I have to give back. I have to be part of this. You know, that's why we made the movie. That's why we've built the things that we've built. And that's why we continue streaming and talking to people, whether there's 5 people in a room or 50,000, we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah, it's, I definitely see a difference between, you know, you talking about your actions, a lot of things. And then I just feel like there's a difference between wanting to make a contribution, because clearly you want to make a contribution. You know, the mad gains, everyone wants the mad gains, but contribution is like first and foremost. And that's something that you can choose anything in life to do that with. But hey, you got this wonderful product in front of you, you got this wonderful community. You know, this is the incubator for greatness in that way as well.